All right, kiddos, so we are on Unit 2, Week 3 of our vocabulary words. So you can get out your word collector, open up to the next open box that you have, and be ready to learn our new vocabulary words for the week. Our first word we have this week is dishonest. Dishonest. So an example sentence of using the word dishonest is taking something that is not yours is dishonest. Okay, so remember right now you're just working on writing that word down, and we'll learn the definition in just a bit. I would like you to find your own sentence later this week for the word dishonest, but this is just an example. So think about what dishonest means. Maybe it would help to break up this word. Think about what does honest mean? And then if we add the word dis in front of it, dishonest, what would that mean? Also using those picture clues from the picture you have there. Looks like some kiddo's working on some work or a test, and kind of see his eyes are wandering a bit to another kid's paper. So think about what dishonest means. So dishonest means not honest or tending to cheat or lie. So if we have the word honest and dishonest means not honest, we can kind of learn that part of the word dis must mean not. So dishonest would be not honest or tending to cheat or lie. So you can write that down for the definition. So I want you to think about, has there ever been a time you've been dishonest? Has there ever been a time that someone has been dishonest to you? So think about, has there ever been a time where you've maybe lied or cheated, or maybe someone has lied to you? Okay, maybe if your parents asked you if you've done something, like if you broke something and they ask you about it, and maybe you're scared, so you might be dishonest to them and tell them that it wasn't you that did it, or tell them it was your little brother or sister because you're afraid to get in trouble. Our next word for this week is advice. Advice. So an example sentence of advice would mean parents give their children advice. Okay, so I want you to look at this picture. It looks like we have a young girl and maybe a dad or a coach playing baseball. It looks like he's giving her some advice. So think about what that might mean. Picture. This coach or this dad is giving her advice at what she should do. So maybe he's giving her advice about how to throw the pitch or how to catch the ball the right way. So advice is an opinion or suggestion about what should be done. Okay, so if we go back and look at this. Okay, so advice is an opinion or suggestion about what should be done. So I want you to think about, if we had a new student in our class, what advice would you give them about what they should do or what they should get done? What kind of advice would you give a new student in our class to help them? And usually advice is given to help someone out. Our next word for this week is snag. So you see a picture there. It looks like we have some kind of fabric or something that's caught on the thorn of like a plant. Okay. And a sentence would be, the canoe hit a snag in the river and became stuck. So think about, what does snag mean? Sentence, the canoe hit a snag in the river and became stuck. That means this canoe hit an unexpected obstacle while they were in the river and became. A snag is a hidden or unexpected obstacle. Okay, a hidden or unexpected obstacle. So if we go back and look at the name stuck. Okay, so I want you to think about what could cause a snag in having a birthday party outside. Okay, so if a snag is a hidden or unexpected obstacle, if you were to have a birthday party outside, what could cause, what unexpected thing could cause an issue? Okay, I'm thinking about if it rained right? If I was having an outdoor birthday party, rain could cause a snag in my birthday party, an unexpected obstacle. Okay. The next word is screenplay. So actors use a script until they memorize, the next word is script, not screenplay. An example would be actors use a script until they memorize their part. So if you see this picture of the word script, there's a piece of paper, a bunch of pieces of paper that say screenplay on the front. So think about what a script would be if actors are using a script to memorize their parts. What would a script be? So a script is the manuscript of a play, movie, or radio or television show. Okay, so if you think about when you guys do your readers' theaters, a lot of the times you have a script that you use, and that has your parts on it, what you need to say, what you need to do in your readers' theater. So a script is a manuscript of a play, movie, radio, or television show. Next one is argument. Okay, so the sentence using argument would be, the family had an argument about where they would eat supper. Okay, so if we look at this picture, we have two people who look like they're talking to one another. Their hands are up. Their body language is kind of telling me they're not really maybe agreeing with one another. Okay, so based on those picture clues and that sentence, what do you think argument means? It's probably a familiar word for you. In this picture, it's pretty obvious that these people are disagreeing with one another, right? They're in an argument. So an argument is a dispute or discussion where people disagree. Okay. So dispute or discussion where people disagree is what argument means. So you can... Okay, and I want you to think about, have you ever had an argument with a brother or sister, a mom or dad, or friends? So time where you disagreed with someone else. Okay, maybe you disagreed with your brother or sister about what to watch on TV. I know my brother and I used to fight over the remote and disagree about what we should be watching. So that would be an example of an argument where you disagree about something. Our next word is descendants. Descendants. So we have a picture of what looks like probably a family of a lot of different ages. So you could think that we have grandma and grandpa maybe who are a lot older, kind of a mom and dad, and then we have little babies, so little kids, so many different ages in a family. Okay, and a sentence would be, my family is descendants of Irish immigrants. My family is descendants of Irish immigrants. Okay, remember that this is just an example sentence, so I would not like you to write this down because I want you to come up here with your own sentence, but this would just be an example of descendants, so think about what that might mean. That sentence, descendants of Irish immigrants, that would mean that my family, or this group of people, my family, are Irish, or they originally came from Ireland. Okay, that would be an example. Descendants are people born of a certain family or group. Okay, people born of a certain family or group. Okay, so if we look back at talking about your descendants, people born of a certain family or group. Okay, so I want you to kind of think about, do you know where your descendants are from? So I know that my family, they came from different parts of Europe. So they came from Denmark, they came from Norway, they came from Germany, and places like that. So that's where my descendants are from. All right, our last one today for this week is arrangements. Arrangements. So if we look at this table, we see a group of people. It looks like they have a lot of different plans out. They have a lot of different papers. They have calculators. They have phones. They have pens. Kind of looks like they're working on something. A sentence with the word arrangements would be, Miss Crowell had to change the arrangements for the field trip. So think about, based on that sentence and this picture, what does arrangements mean? The sentence, if Miss Crowell had to change the arrangements for the field trip, that would just mean that I would need to change the plans or the preparations for the field trip. So maybe, let's say if there was a change of plans, if all of a sudden we couldn't go to a certain place for a field trip, I would need to change the arrangements or change the plans for us to go somewhere else. So arrangements are adjustments, plans, or preparations. Adjustments, plans, or preparations. Remember that you are more than welcome to pause this video anytime throughout the video, in case you need some time to write or some time to think. So if we look back, okay, so I want you to think about, if you were in charge of planning a Halloween party, what arrangements would you need to make? So what adjustments or plans or preparations would you have to make to plan a Halloween party? And after you are done with adding the word arrangements, you can either rewind in this video and go back and fill in some stuff that you missed. So if you missed any of the definitions or things like that, or you just want to review some of the things, the words that we talked about, you can do that. But this is our last word for this week, so as soon as you're done with that, you can close up your word collector and put that away. Thanks for listening, kiddos.